Have anything for us?
Y'all do. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You're Reuters. You're he's what? He's ready. You're the pool guy. Okay. All right. A couple of things. Yeah, it would have to happen. Wouldn't it? Can you hear? How bad's that sound? We good? Okay. So today's Judgment Day. This case, United States versus Peter Navarro, is already a landmark case, no matter how it's decided today by a jury. This is a case that's not really about me. It's about the much broader issue of the constitutional separation of powers and issues related to executive privilege and a Department of Justice policy known as absolute testimonial immunity, which says they shouldn't be prosecuting me, which says that people like me, senior advisors to the president, alter egos to the president, cannot be compelled to testify before Congress. The rulings the judges already made in this case constitute landmark issues, and those rulings have been in favor of the executive privilege. What we have to do now basically is send this case to the jury in a situation where I have been stripped of virtually every defense by the court. And yet there is some defense left, and the reality here is the government has not proved its case. Please understand that the Biden weaponized Department of Justice is the biggest law firm in the world. That's what I'm fighting against, and that's really at the core problem here. So we're going to add another $10,000 or so to the legal defense. DefendPeter.com. DefendPeter.com is that legal defense fund. If you can, help me help you defend the Constitution. And if the verdict comes out the wrong way today, it's going to be another $1 million taking this case all the way to the Supreme Court. So let's see what happens. I'll come out here after the day. The way it's going to go is there are going to be closing arguments in the case. Then the jury will go for its deliberations and likely come back, or perhaps not, with a decision by the end of the day. Or if it's locked, of course, it could go on for a long time. So that's where we stand. Godspeed you all. DefendPeter.com. I do need your support. I'm here because I've been willing to stand up for our country, our Constitution, and the White House and the executive branch against a predatory legislative branch and a weaponized Department of Commerce. All right, gang, thanks a lot. Pardon me?
Are you willing and able to take an appeal?
The question is, am I willing and able to take a bill? This case will go to the appeals court if the verdict comes out wrong today. But it's going to cost money, and I'm glad you asked that. It's DefendPeter.com. That's the legal defense fund. I've already raised, through small donations, about $450,000. My bills already exceed that, and if this goes to an appeal, it'll be another $1 million. But ultimately, and I said this from the beginning, you all will remember, I said this from the very beginning, because this case is so unusual. Remember, I'm the first person in the history of this republic in the position of senior White House advisor who's ever been charged with an alleged crime where the Department of Justice itself says it's not a crime. This is insane. This is a weaponized Biden Justice Department. And I think it's really important. I think one of the things that's come out in very, very thoughtful colloquy between my attorneys and the judge is that, and the judge has said this many times, there's so many open questions about this case in terms of executive privilege, whether it's presumptive, what does it cover, And there's no law. There's no what they call settled law on this issue. Settled law means that all courts from lower to higher up to the Supreme Court agree. And there's nothing there in this case because I'm the test case, which begs the question, how do you even come up with a charge against me if there's no law on this? I mean, it's the theater of the absurd. But remember what's going on here. Remember how this started. This started with a weaponized House of Representatives and a partisan effort to put Trump and people who support him behind bars. That's where this started. The J6 committee was formed not to investigate what happened up there. It was formed to try to put Donald Trump in prison and stop him from running office. And I am part of the net that partisan House of Representatives cast. And then a partisan weaponized Justice Department run by Joe Biden and Merrick Garland. They chose to prosecute a case that their own policy for more than 50 years says they shouldn't be prosecuted. And by the way, there were 3 people who were alleged to do what I was alleged to do. And I'm the only one being charged, but one of the defenses of many that I was stripped from was the obvious one of selective prosecution. So, as President Trump likes to say, let's see what happens, and I'll be back after Judgment Day has rendered its verdict. I appreciate your help. Thanks. DefendPeter.com. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm in the